Okay, hello again, YouTube. This is Clone again. We are recording the. This is the second session, the part two of the rundown of the Transformers Zero Hour Wave Zero card review. In this part, we are going to cover. In the first part, we covered all the characters. In this part, we're going to cover all the stratagems and all the. Sorry, all the stratagems and all the battle cards. Um, so we'll start with the stratagems here. Oop, there we go. First up is the Bevy of Darkness. This stratagem is for, of course, as you can see, Tidal Wave. It starts on this side, the battleship side, and it says your Decepticon boats have +2 health, because if you know the Tidal Wave pieces are all very low health. And to make up for that, they all have +2 health, which is a nice bonus. And whenever you deploy a Decepticon from one of your Tidal Wave Dark Fleet pieces, you do 1 damage to an enemy. So that's a nice way. Tidal Wave, we have him set up as like a slow burner. So you're going to be doing a lot of like small chip damage and have a lot of blue. So this is going to help you with that slow burn strategy. And when your Tidal Wave Dark Fleet combines, you repair 3 damage from him. So that's going to heal him up, make him nice and healthy. And then you flip it, and you flip the stratagem. So when he combines, you'll flip the stratagem to the other side, the Bevy of Darkness side. And he has +6 health, because that's plus. There's 3 Tidal Wave pieces, so that's the +2 from that. Sorry. And then he has +1 defense as well to make him very nice and just dummy thick, very strong. And the Dark Fleet has tough 2, and all the Tidal Wave pieces, not all the Decepticons you deploy from Tidal Wave have tough 1. So you're very much just a hunker down, hold the hold the fort, just a pillow fort, blue centric, just very slow burn, slow burn deck. Because Tidal Wave's a monster when he combines, and this is gonna make him very scary. He's a fun deck to play, and this stratagem really does help him out. Next stratagem we're going to look at is the Dejected Soldier. This is for Red Alert, the Solemn Medic. This is kind of a fun one. It gives him +2 health, so he's an 8-star with 14. That's a little bit above the curve, so that's pretty good. And when you reset when your Red Alert Solemn Medic is untapped and he's in bot mode, the stratagem, you can tap the stratagem to repair 1 damage from an Autobot in bot mode. There's a lot of burn decks in the meta, and there's a lot of burn in general with Decepticons, so this Solemn Medic is going to help you just a little bit. You can tap the stratagem to heal one of your Autobots if they're in bot mode. And whenever Red Alert untaps, you untap the stratagem as well. So you can like ready for action and turbo out the turbo out some healing, get some good healing, good and going, and it's just a nice way to hold down, control the field, because Red Alert's a control. I see him as a control type card, so this control sort of healing is going to help your Autobot teams. Man, I'm really hacking up along today. The next 2 stratagems are for Demolisher and Cyclonus. How they work is this is following the theme of manipulating star value. So if you have Demolisher and Cyclonus, you get a bunch of bonuses. So we'll start with Double Trouble, the Cyclonus stratagem. If you have both Demolisher and Cyclonus, they both get +2 health. And if you have Tag Team Terminators, this stratagem makes Cyclonus essentially a 5-star. So, and to make up for that, because you're getting about on the body of like you get 24 health in total from basically a 5-star and a 6-star, which is pretty impressive. So you can't have any star cards in your deck. And the Demolisher stratagem, Tag Team Terminators, just gives Demolisher Safeguard 3. I see Safeguard 3 as just kind of a nice little buffer. It's not the strongest ability, but it's just something nice to have. And again, the stratagem refunds itself if you have Double Trouble. But no character no character on your team can have fewer than 7 stars. So you can't mass swarm with like Demolisher, Cyclonus, and the Airstrike Patrol, because that'd be annoying. But this is great. These two Demolisher Cyclones are a ton of fun. They're very strong, and this is going to help you. They're great for supporting like big heavy guys like Shockwave or Living Weapon or King Starscream who can't really get any kind of good thematic support, and that's what Demolisher and Cyclonus are going to do. They're just a pair of goons. They're going to help out your Decepticons. Next, we have Friends Till the End, the Hotshot stratagem. Once again, manipulating star value. This stratagem refunds itself if you begin the game with only Autobot cars. And your Autobots that have a car mode, so let's say you have Bumblebee, but he's in bot mode, this would still count. And you also have Hotshot. If you have at least 2 Autobots that have car modes, and one of them is Hotshot, none of your Autobots with car modes can take non-attack damage like burn. Burn decks are pretty popular with Quake and Bull and some other stuff. So this is gonna help put Autobot cars back in competitive play. And Hotshot works great with Anticipation Engine and some other just nasty stuff. And this is a great tool for cars to have. And the last challenge we're going to take a look at is the Twin Blade. This is Starscream stratagem. I see Wave Zero's Armada Starscream as he's an already pretty good card. So his stratagem is probably the weakest, but it's still not that bad. What it does is, since that Starscream has 2 weapon slots, you can use both when you can load them up with Bold. That's just how it is with Null Ray of Starscream, maybe the Star Saber, and some other fun stuff. And if you flip 3 orange and 3 black, you repair 1 damage from your Starscream, and you flip the Twin Blade stratagem, and it becomes making a choice. This is very much in theme with the Armada anime. Very good flavor. And your Starscream, he's now an Autobot and a Decepticon. And when he dies, you scrap all enemy upgrades. Of course, you have to work to get that. It only gives him +1 health, so that's an 11 star with 15. But the Armada Wave Zero Starscream is very strong already. So this is just a weaker stratagem, but it does help him out a little bit, and you can have some fun scenarios with Twin Blade and making a choice. So that concludes the stratagems. On to the next part, we're going to look at the battle cards. And starting off, this is probably one of my favorite battle cards I designed, Arduous Tenacity. It kind of fits the whole theme of 0 Hour, 0 Hour battle cards into one specific card. You draw 1 card and then you show it to your opponent. If the card you drew was an action, you flip one of your Autobots or Decepticons from alt mode to bot mode. So that's your Autobots getting ready. Your Autobots or Decepticons are getting pumped up. You've got an action ready in your hand. And your Transformers are getting themselves ready into bot mode. And yeah, because bot mode, I feel with 0 Hour, bot mode is usually, not always, keep that in mind, not always, but it usually will be the stronger side. So there's a lot of flip-centric stuff going on with 0 Hour. The meta is going to be very evolved around manipulating flips. So this is going to help you with that, but it's a 50-50 chance. But if you do draw an upgrade, you get basically a repair. You can repair 2 damage from an Autobot or Decepticon. So if you draw an upgrade, it's not the end of the world. But there are times where you really want to draw an action or you really want to draw an upgrade, and the heart of the cards is not with you. But this is just a nice, very strong card. It's got white specialist, orange, and black melee. So if you play like Master Metallicato and you flip this, it's very strong. Metroplex is going to like this card. But it's one of the stronger cards in 0 Hour and one of the stronger battle cards. We're really, I don't want to say we're power creep, but we're really just kind of testing the water with Wave Zero, the base set for 0 Hour. So this is like the peak of strength. This is where we set the bar. And you'll never see cards get stronger than like Tenacity here. It's a fun card. You're going to love using it. Even, I think blue decks would even use it. It's fun. So, we were talking about Metroplex earlier, so now we're going to take a look at what I like to call the Boon Cycle. That's a magic term for you. These are they're blue, orange, and black cards that come with a white pip. They don't give you much benefit, except maybe like +1 attack, bold 1, or pierce 1. but it's the pips, like, because there's some times where you're building your deck and you can't find room for a white card. You just can't, and I know that feeling. So that's what these three cards are designed to do. They're just there to help you, give you a little something, just a little like something you can put in there, like plus like just +1 attack is not that bad on an action, or bolt. Well, it's not great, but it's okay. And the blue white is really what helps against the odds, or the orange white on brute force. Beatdown is another different story because we already have there already are quite a few white black cards in the game. Well, I think there's a couple. So we gave it double black, and because Pierce 1 I see is not as strong as Bold 1 or +1 attack. So it's got the double black, and the white is there for, because it kind of fits that cycle. This one's also a rare because I feel double black, 3 pips on a card is a lot stronger than 2. Duh. So it's a rare. And also, this is something also we're going to do a lot with 0-hour heats, well, sets. We always put a hint in the current set that we're releasing and testing that's going to hint and give you some clues about what the next set is going to be. And if you recognize some of the artwork on the battle cards, you'll know what our next set is going to be based on. And we might even spoil it here. Next up, we've got Big Rig Bulwark. This is a secret action. Wait, did I skip a card? Nope, I didn't. Big Rig Bulwark. This is a secret action that works only for Autobots. It's a blue, and if you're a truck, it's a double blue. Again, going back to that blue truck tribal thing with Smokescreen and Red Alert and other type of trucks. When one of your Autobots defends, you flip each of your Autobots from bot mode to truck mode, and then all your trucks have +1 defense and tough 1 until end of turn. So it's kind of like start your engines or hunker down or roll out or those other things, but it also gives trucks what they like, and that's defense. Bulwark. They're big rigs. We had a lot of fun playing testing this. It makes trucks quite impressive, actually. Flipping Red Alert or Optimus Battlefield Legend Prime or some other guys to truck mode is really, it's very helpful. This is the thing. It's a strong card. In playtesting, it's not too strong because black is a thing. But it does give trucks that heavy duty feel that they really need. And we're, again, just testing the water with how strong we can push these battle cards. You're never going to see anything stronger than Wave 0 battle cards. This is the peak. This is the bar. We've set the bar, and now we're going to work around the bar, which is what a base set should do. But that's Big Rig Bulwark. It's a fun card. You'll definitely enjoy it if you're a fan of trucks. Next up, this is our first introduction to the Justice on actions and upgrades. Justice is, as we discussed in the previous episode, Justice is a mechanic where if you can only activate a Justice can only trigger if there's a character in your opponent's KO area. Not yours, your opponent's. Because you've killed someone and now you're getting Justice for the death. So Dark Fury is going to help ease less like expert level players and help them kind of ease into the feeling of what Justice is all about. So we've got an orange and a black ranged. So it's great for that kind of stuff. Aggro decks definitely sometimes struggle with refilling their hand. So this is going to help you out with that. And since you're playing so aggressively, it rewards you. If you kill someone, you get to draw 2 cards. It's a nice, cute little common. It's a lot of fun. Again, it's another one of those fun ones. Just draw 2 cards. You can't really go wrong with card draw. Next, we have the Envoy cards. These are more Autobot and Decepticon themes, because we love our factions. We're all Autobots or Decepticons at heart here. So the first one we're going to take a look at is Envoy of Hate, the Decepticon Envoy card. Envoy of Hate is, well, as you can see, it's orange-blue, which is one of the strongest double pips you can get. But it only works for Decepticons. So if you're like, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get the battle that kind of pip when you're playing someone else. So because Autobots have Matrix of Leadership, So Decepticons kind of deserve something, but we know 0 hour we know how strong Decepticons are and how abusable blue orange can really be. I mean, yeah, blue orange or orange blue could really be. So we made the actual card not very impressive. It can be fun, but it's not gonna be oppressive. What it does is when one of your Decepticons defends, you show the top 3 cards of your deck to your opponent, and your opponent picks one of them to add to your hand, and you put the other 2 in your scrap pile. And this happens before you flip your battle cards, so when you do it, you essentially get to draw a card, but your opponent gets to choose what you're picking up. So if you reveal, like, I don't know, a fusion bore, a grenade launcher, and an improvised shield, your opponent will just say, "Oh, you're getting the improvised shield," which, yeah, that's terrible, but if you look at the pips, it's kind of justified for the double pips you get there. So we made Envoy of Hate. It's slow, but it's not the worst thing, because there are scenarios where you get like 3 god cards and your opponent is like, damn it, what do I do with these? But it's more fun with player interaction, because we had it originally as you pick it, and that was not fun, because then you were just essentially getting to look at your top 3 cards and pick the best one. So your opponent gets to pick one, and that leads to some fun, quirky, cool scenarios. It's fun. It's a cool card. If you're and Decepticon players are just gonna love having the orange blue. And moving on, we got the Envoy of Peace. It's very reminiscent of that old. It's a retrain of Press the Advantage, which is banned for good. It's not a fun card. So this is a weaker retrain in the form of a secret action. Envoy of Peace. It's a blue green. When one of your Autobots defends, the attacker gets -1 attack, and your defender gets +1 defense. So that's a net gain of about +2, because you're getting +1 defense. So it's something kind of interesting, and I'm kind of proud of this idea. I don't think I've seen They might exist. I feel like it's something that does. Of getting to interact with your opponent's attack, in terms of you actually just delete -1 attacks. So if it's like, it can lead to some interesting scenarios, and but it only works for your Autobots, but it's gonna see some play. I think Envoy of Peace honestly is a better card than Envoy of Hate in the right deck. Granted, they're both strong, and you're gonna have fun with both of these cards. Next up, we've got Fatally Stuck. This is an action. Choose a character. Until the start of your next turn, that character cannot flip to another mode. Because we're very aware of the amount of the flip intensity going on in 0 hour, and flipping characters and having them in the right mode is definitely going to be a staple of the meta for 0 hour moving forward. And in other, like with Metroplex, if we saw the boon cards like Brute Force and Against the Odds, Metroplex is going to exploit the hell out of Against the Odds and Brute Force. So Fatally Stuck is going to help kind of it's something Metroplex players are going to be afraid of, and other type players like Run Amok, Runabout, Demolisher, and Cyclonus. The way Fatally Stuck works, if you're thinking, you can still combine, because that's just how it works. Like Sky Shadow can still get his combination, Menasor, because you can't deny a combine, because that's technically not the character, that's a different character. So, but you can't, it does slow down like combiner teams, or specifically this was designed for Metroplex, because Metroplex is already really strong, and with Against the Odds and Brute Force, Metroplex, it's also just a nice, I don't like to use the word floodgate, but it feels that way. It's just some proofreading, and it's a good tech card for your sideboard. I'm very proud of Fatally Stuck, and you got Thrust here getting squished. Another type of floodgate tech card you might put in your sideboard is Gone for Good. It's a white-green, so it's very flexible. It's a green specialist, and we've got a lot of specialists in 0 hour, specifically in Wave 0 and our upcoming set, Heat 1. So during your opponent's turn, your opponent can't put characters from their KO area onto the battlefield. So, like I Still Function or Involuntary Promotion. Specifically, I Still Function. Although we work with Zero Hour does also allow for Alpha Trion or Vector Sigma cards to be legal, and if you've seen going on there, they've got Snapdragon, and he's just kind of power crept, gone for good. But while Snapdragon's a body, this is just a battle card, so it can fit in decks that don't really have room for a 12-star like Snapdragon, but you're gonna enjoy Gone for Good. I can see this as a one of in a sideboard or a main board if you're playing like Shockwave. I can see Shockwave really loving Gone for Good. Next up, Petty Fighting. I love the artwork for this one. I took the screenshot from the Armada anime and I kind of edited it a bit. Petty Fighting, it's a double black, and it's as simple as an action you can get. You just do 1 damage to an enemy. And what that allows is, it's just a little cute burn card. It's not like Kameen Crash, which in my opinion I think is still better. Kameen Crash is better than this card, but you are going to think, because the double black is pretty good. Because people sleep on double black. So double black on a burn card is pretty fun, and I could see you using this. Maybe you might even use both Kameen Crash and Petty Fighting. Just go black burn. Bull will like Petty Fighting. But yeah, I can see instances where Petty Fighting is better or some on the par with Kameen Crash. If it's a fun card and it's another cute little, just good, solid, generic action. Next up, before you can see, you already see the double orange on questionable morale healer. Questionable morale. Peace Through Tyranny, the infamous Peace Through Tyranny, it's banned in 0 Hour. You cannot use Peace Through Tyranny in any deck in 0 Hour competitive play or official sanctioned events for 0 Hour. So this is the replacement for Peace Through Tyranny. It's nowhere near as strong, and in playtesting, the double orange was never the issue with PTT. It was the fact that you got to cheat out an extra turn. So what Questionable Morale here does is, if you control a leader, you have to scrap a card from your hand and then repair 2 damage from a character with 13 or less stars in bot mode. So this also fits up with the themes of 0 Hour sets. You've got some interesting action cards with interesting pip combinations, the healing, and bot mode. It's another card that kind of talks all about what 0 Hour is all about. And again, this is the base set. You'll never ever see another double orange card be pushed from 0 Hour. Unless somehow, Questionable Morale, I don't see it being exploited. There's probably some deck that could make good use of this, but that's kind of the landscaping of evolving meta. And it's a good card. I don't see it as a staple like PTT, but it's very, very, like, on a similar level to Improvised Shield. You're going -1 in card advantage to repair 2 damage to a very specific type of card, because you can't repair Bolt like Horrible or Fangry or Quake, because they have to be in bot mode. And you can't heal your really big guys like Shockwave or some of those other huge characters that are above the 13-star limit. But yeah, I'm very happy and pleased with Questionable Morale. So yeah, moving on, we've got Requisition. I love this artwork, by the way, with Megatron and Bludgeon. And more hints about Heat 1. you probably figured it out already. Requisition, it's a black action, just scrap an enemy upgrade. We're moving into a meta phase where just scrapping the upgrade isn't enough, because you've got things like the stratagem from ATP, I Don't Believe in Destiny, which just blocks scrapping. You've got Such Heroic Nonsense from ATP, which also blocks scrapping, and some other ways you just can't get rid of scrapping cards. And black, I feel like Disassemble can only gives your opponent +1 and +1 in card advantage by drawing a card, but it's got a green. So Requisition, it fills the void that black players really need. That if you're a fan of just the mono black Pierce ink decks, I call them ink because they're playing so many black cards, you're gonna enjoy this. You could use it as like 2 or maybe even 3 as just scrapping something, because I don't see black as being that strong. It's strong. Black pips are very, very strong, but they really did they do deserve a card like this. So that's a good action for you. You're going to enjoy it. It's also common, so it's legal in Junkion, the format where you can only use commons. Very strong. Well, not strong. It's good. It's good, which is what we're looking for. No, we're never going to make a bad card. We're always trying to push for quality over quantity here at 0 Hour. Now we've got one of the most interesting cards in 0 Hour. Strength against numbers. It's a secret action. No, I just now noticed we got a lot of secrets in 0 Hour in Wave 0 here. It's a double blue, but it is a star card. The reason we made it a star card is one, we already have Handheld Blaster and Security Checkpoint as double blues without star cards, so we don't need Security Checkpoint's fine. I don't see a reason to ban it. Maybe in the future, but Strength in Numbers, the reason it's double blue with a star card is because of Heroic Spotlight. If you're a fan of the blue decks, you know that the double blue star cards are not very good. Because correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Energized Field or EMP Wave saw any real competitive success. Strength in Numbers, I think, will see some success as a star card if you're playing Heroic Spotlight. Because what it does is you can read it, when one of your Autobots defends, that character gets +1 defense for each of your other Autobots. It fits the themes of the Autobots, especially in Armada, where they work together, the togetherness and unity. So the strength in numbers is, so you're playing like aerial bots with the new Vector Sigma 8, it's new to us. ATP, the Vector Sigma guys, they came out with the new aerial bots. They're gonna love this card. They're really gonna love, aerial bots are gonna love this, and some of those other teams, like I think Sentinels could use this. Well, not really Sentinels, because they're pretty thick with stars already. But some other teams that I'm probably not, like I can see Red Alert and Smokescreen and the truck team is really enjoying this. You play Strength in Numbers with Red Alert and General Optimus from Wave 3? Yeah, the Wave 3 11-star Optimus Prime. Then you can get some, or you can play like Off-Road Patrol. Yeah, they're gonna have a field day with this and Big Rig Bulwark and some of those other double blue. But yeah, with Blue's gonna enjoy this with Belligerence being so popular. It's not overpowered. It's just, again, just good. So to conclude the day, we've got one action left. Vault Fosse. That is how you pronounce it. If you don't know, Vault Fosse is a French word. It means to like turn things around and turn the tides towards your opponent. So this is this card, I feel kind of, its flavor takes high priority over function. It's still a good card, of course. I double black again, because double blacks are just something nice to have. It's a Decepticon card, and it's got the Justice mechanic. This is probably one of the stronger Justice cards. Because we've described Justice. You can only play an action when there's a character in your opponent's KO area. You repair 2 damage from one of your Decepticons with 13 or less stars in bot mode. So that's kind of the questionable morale. But then you give it +1 attack until end of turn. This is pretty good. And you got the artwork here. Okay, we'll spoil it. The next set is Generation 2. We'll talk more about that in the future. But we got Megatron with Bludgeon's skull. It was a Vault Fosse. He turned the tides around. Now he's back in control of the Decepticons. And this kind of fits that theme. You're prepping your Decepticons for war. You're turning the tides in your favor with healing them and then giving one of them +1 attack. And you just killed someone, so that's why it's got the Justice mechanic. And double black is because that's how we think. I think Decepticons use black a bit more than Autobots, in my opinion. Especially with like Demolisher and Cyclonus and some of the other guys like Sky Shadow and Skytread and some other stuff. And the reason it's 13 stars is specifically because of Shockwave. In playtesting, when this was just any Decepticon, Shockwave spammed the shit out of this card, and it made him a little... I mean, Shockwave's already really good, and with things like Envoy of Hate, Gone for Good, and a lot of other Wave 0 cards, and our next set, Heat 1, he doesn't need Vault Fosse. So Vault Fosse, it's helping with like Living Weapon, Megatron, Skytread, King Starscream, Nemesis Prime. Demolisher Cyclonus can't keep back, keeps out the Twin Blade Starscream, as we call him, the Armada one. Sideway, just all the Decepticons can really use Vault Foss. And this is the peak of like Decepticon power. I know Decepticons are very dominant in the meta right now, and I think Vault Foss is the last hurrah for, well, not really. We've got some stuff in Heat 1, which we'll do spoilers for Heat 1 soon. And I've gone on enough about that's Vault Foss. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. But if you're interested more in Zero Hour, there is a link in the description below to join our Discord. We're doing tournaments. We do tournaments monthly, along with casual competitive play, and we're desperately in search for playtesters. Just feel free to join. I'd love to have you there. I'm on all the time. This is Clone with Team Zero Hour. Thanks for watching, and have a very, very good day.